Hi, this is Brandon Moon with Leland Fly Fishing. I want to welcome you tonight to Fly Tying Night. Tonight we're going to be tying up a gray drake pattern, parachute gray drake. We hope you enjoy this. We're tying this on the new Moonlit Premium Tagada ML102 in a size 10. Tie these in sizes 8, 10, and 12 for the gray drake. Very, very good pattern. With that, we're going to invite you to make sure that you like the video. Make sure that you leave us a comment. Make sure and hit the subscribe button and the bell to receive future notification. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and start my thread off about the 3/4 mark. I'm going to wrap this thread all the way back to the bend of the hook. For my thread, I'm using Semperfly Classic Wax 12/0 in steel. For my tail on this, I'm using Hends Microfibits Iron Blue. I'm going to snag me 4 of these tail fibers here. And I want them to be even at the tips. And I want the tail to be roughly about the length of the hook shank. So we'll just tie that in with a nice loose wrap to begin with, and then 2 more wraps pulling it down tight. Now I'll take my thumb and I'm going to splay these 4 fibers so I can separate them with my finger. Now I'm going to take that thread, and that thread I'm just going to help splay that out. I can manipulate the tail just a little bit with my fingers. We'll finish securing that down. Now that it's tied in real good, we'll trim that out to that same point where we tied in at. Finish securing and wrapping down to that 3/4 mark. For the wing on this pattern, we're going to use Semperfly's black poly yarn. Okay, so I'm just going to lay this black poly yarn over the top. Give it 2 wraps, and then I can make sure that I've got that positioned where I need to at that 3/4 mark, and then I'll just lock it in. In front and in back. Now I'm going to stand that up. And really work building up my post now. And it's just a slow wrap up that post of poly yarn. And I just really want to go about a hook eye's length up there, not super high. Got a straggler of poly yarn there. We'll just trim that out. Now I'm just going to take and wrap back towards the back end of my fly here. I'm going to take and go with 2 wraps, seat that in nice and good underneath. And again, I can just manipulate the fibers with my hand just a little bit. For the Biot, I'm going to be using the Gray Drake Wild Barred Turkey Biot. And I'm going to tie this with the ridge point being down. I'm going to tie that in on the back end there. Now I'm just going to create a little bit of a taper to this fly with my thread. Mayflies have more of a slender body, but they do have a little bit of a taper. So I like to use this small 12/0 thread so that I can keep a nice slim profile but still get a little bit of a taper. And I'll do about 4 of these wraps back and forth to create the taper. Once I've got that nice little taper, I'll half hitch this here at the front. And that's going to allow me to use the rotary feature to wrap my Biot. Now I'll grab that, and I want to make sure that I'm wrapping little poly yarn stuck in there. I'm wrapping that ridged edge on the back side of this hook, creating a nice, good, even taper. Using the markings on that Biot to help with a smooth, even taper as well. Now we'll take and secure that Biot down. Now all I got to do is trim that out. I like to hold my thread out of the way when I do that, just so that I don't clip it. Now I'm going to take a whiting medium done feather. Okay, there's my medium done feather, and one side, on the shiny side, it's the left side, is going to have a little bit more of that stem exposed, and this is so that I can get that bare stem to wrap to get a good clean start on this. So I'm just going to tie this in, lift that up. Now I'm just going to take and wrap up my post with my Hackle stem, securing that in and working my way back down. Got a little piece of that Biot there, trim that out. For the dubbing on this, I'm using the Gray Blaze Club Dub from Snake River Fly. It's got a really cool sheen to it. We're just going to create a nice thorax here with a nice and tight dub noodle. So I'll get a little bit on there. We'll get going. Want a little bit more. So I can create a good thorax here. And there we go. Now I'm going to take and wrap this hackle, and I want the shiny side to be down. And the reason I want the shiny side down is I want the hackle fibers natural curvature to go upwards. And I'm going to get about 3 or 4 wraps of this. I'll secure that down. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of head seam or glue, super glue. I like the Loctite with the little brush applicator. I'm going to put a little bit on there, and I'm going to seat that thread in there really good. Now I'm just going to take and trim off my thread and my hackle stem. Then I'll trim out my post. Kind of trim out any fibers underneath. And there you have a nice, effective parachute gray drake. Thank you for watching the video tonight. Thank you for liking the video, leaving us a comment, and hitting the subscribe button. We appreciate your support in helping us get this information out to people. Have a wonderful evening.